Are you seeing anything?
I feel like there's energy up here and over here. But I'm waiting for Daniel to step in here, so.
Hmm. You think he's cooking something?
He's probably getting his popcorn. He likes his popcorn.
I
I
was
can
thinking
feel
he was in the
their
kitchen.
energy's coming in. It's starting to show up. Um, so he's with the collective today. I can feel his energy is like right here, and then there's the Imperial group, the group of 7 that comes with him. They're right there as well.
Maybe he's in a lab working on something.
He's keeping his 6 feet of distance. Come in. It's interesting because I keep seeing these fields, these really green fields, and they're almost like rolling hills, and it's it looks like something that you would see out of a movie or some artwork or something. It's like beautiful greens and almost like just the onset of fall, where the leaves start changing colors, and there's it's like this big field, but then you can see that there's houses and buildings off in the distance. And so um, I'm just curious, why am I seeing this field?
Is it a beautiful place?
Uh, what what I'm getting is that this field is representation of what we're experiencing right now. Before, we were in the busy hustle and bustle of things, and now it's kind of like this open field, and you feel the wind and you can see the trees, and the seasons changing, and it's like everything slowed down. um, it's kind of an example of energy. The hustle and bustle is kind of off in the distance where the buildings are, and this is a place of calm and peace and like meditation and relaxation. um, we are here. We are here to talk about all of this beautiful energy that is being created. And if we could get everybody to be focusing more on how that is creating a peace within, and a peace and calm and beautiful energy that is going on right now, if everybody could bring their focus to that and do their best to keep their minds off of the worrisome things, that is the energy that is important to create right now.
Mm.
Many times we've talked about how it is going to be the job of the light workers to keep the energy and the vibration up when things are troubled, in troubled times. And so what we are showing is how this beautiful field and this layout, and it's just very peaceful, and it's very quiet place of nature, and of just very simple, a very simple setting. And that has been created for many of you. Something's been simplified. And in that simplification of your environment, you are able to go quiet, and you are able to be relaxed and be more of who you are here to be. And so there are a lot of very positive changes coming in with those other areas that don't seem quite so pleasant. But we want to show you that if you look for it, you can find the good in all of this that is happening. And
Interesting.
so we do want to say hello to you, Jason. Thank you for having us again tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Not a problem. Thank you for coming through. So, did you have any more information of what Tracie was seeing earlier with the houses and stuff? Is that for us to have an idea to relax and take it all in, the beauty?
Yes, it is. And this it she could keep describing the scenery. The skies are blue with a few scattered wispy clouds. The sun is setting. It is just a very, very peaceful, warm environment out in this place where there is nothing else out there to disturb. It is just this beautiful field. It is quiet, it is peaceful, and nature is upon her. And it is just it is pleasant. It is a great place to get to be very one with yourself, just going inward and enjoying the sounds. Maybe there's crickets off in the distance, and the sound of the breeze moving through the grass and different things like that. But there is no sounds of cars, sirens, people yelling back and forth to each other, and hustle and bustle. None of that is going on. It is just peaceful and quiet. Mm-hmm.
This is true. You can actually see the sky in certain cities.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, everyone. We've said it before. Look up, look up. Not only is the color of the sky a beautiful frequency for you to take in, but now it is less cluttered up there, isn't it? And more to take in as well. Lots of energy being moved right now, lots of energy being moved. So people are going through their emotions, they're going through their fears, they're experiencing it. If there is a fear to experience, you will probably experience it in this time. And it'll be put in front of you so that you can deal with it and heal it. And that is what we want to say. If there is something that is a trigger for you, a fear that arises for you, then now is the time to heal that fear. And for some of you, that could be around money. For some of that is a relationship because you've been quarantined with this person, and now there's all this angst and pressure being built up in the home because you aren't getting that time apart, and you can work through this and you can heal it. And so there's a lot going on in the world, a lot out there to look at, to process and move through. But the main part of where we want you to get with this is, what is your desire? What would you like to have when you look at your life and the world you live on? What is your life? What do you want it to look like? And what do you want that world to look like? And create your utopia in your mind and keep that frequency going. And as you do that, you bring in a much like that crystalline or rainbow energy that comes in, the frequencies of all those colors, like a kaleidoscope of colors coming in, and it starts to work with you to create this reality. And as everybody is joining forces together to create this beautiful place to live on, this beautiful earth with peace and joy and bliss and happiness, and um, going into those moments of self-discovery, and who are you and why are you even in existence, and what is this experience about? It is this kaleidoscope of colors that you start creating together as a mass collection of energy, and then you will create that reality. It is already created. You just join it with that mass consciousness. Do you have any questions around that, Jason?
No, unless you have any topics you want to talk about or any messages for the collective that is watching or listening to this session.
Let us look at the audience. Let us get an idea of where everybody is at today, and just scan them to see what it is that would be best to talk about. We do feel like there are more of you listening now, and we thank you for being here. We thank you for joining this collective that joined Tracie and Jason, and beautiful energy is being created. Many of you resonated with that seafoam green and ran into that color, didn't you? Yes.
I noticed we're both wearing white today. How you like that?
And yes, there is white on today, so maybe we'll be talking about that in a little bit as we bring in a new frequency. Lots of energy being brought in. There is a lot of portals. Is that the right word we want to say? Vortexes, portals, gateways of energy coming in through the consciousness of the collective and the masses. And never before has there been such an event like this, where there are so many people on the planet that are going through their great awakening, and more people. And Tracie has been experiencing this, where people are saying, oh, I've just recently gone through this awakening. And she gets to experience these people in their journey. And what we're saying is, now that there is this virus that is around the planet, it is causing a reason, for this beautiful collective to come together, and everybody is putting out the same types of frequencies, and it is starting to open up these new windows of energy that are coming through, that are creating even more awakening throughout, and people are being quite inspired by that. Lots of people are stepping into what it is that they feel they are being called to do. So many people are starting to do that, and it is such a blessing. And we have talked to all of you about that before. It is time to get into what you came here to do and be your authentic true self, and to make those moves. So if you are still on the fence with that, we say get up and do it. Now is your time. It is the perfect time, and the world is supporting you. The ones who are still in need are starving for your information. So start feeding them. That is what we'll say. They want to hear what you have to say, and they will come to you, and they will find you if you are willing to put a voice to what it is that you have learned, what it is that has been your experience and your awakening. So it is time to use your words. It's time to use the verbiage. Take your voice and make it a tool for you, and bring out information for the collective. Bring it out for everyone. Everyone needs to hear what you have to say. And just know that you do not have to be right or wrong. That is for each person to decide on their own. Just like not everything that gets said on these videos may resonate with you, and you take the parts that do and you leave the rest, and you share what you want, and then they take the parts they like and they leave the rest and they share what they want. And so that is how we live together. That is how we create the collective consciousness, the non-judgment, the unconditional love. Everybody gets to be who they came here to be. And giving yourself permission to be your true and authentic self is such a powerful thing to do. And why is it so powerful? But, well, when you get to go out and be your authentic and true self, and somebody sees you doing that, and at first they might be going, wow, that was kind of bold. And then they might be going, I kind of wish I could do that. And then they're kind of going, why the heck can't I do that? And then they go out and be their authentic and true self as well. No longer feeling like they need to fit into the box of what society says they should be. And therefore the veils are being stripped away. And now they know that they can be supported in a world where they can be whoever it is they came here to be, speaking their truth in their mind, and exchanging energy with people in a beautiful way that is high vibrational and filled with love. And why wouldn't it be? Because they are being true to themselves. So of course now they are coming from love, and that sets a new frequency across the planet. And so very, very good things are happening. We want you to focus on those very good things happening. And we do understand that there is a need to stay updated on the news and to know what is going on in the world, but we do want to encourage you to turn the television off and just allow yourself the time to do something different. We'll use Tracie as an example. This last weekend, she had plenty of opportunity to just sit down and watch TV, but instead she chose to go outside and to do some things in the yard, and to dedicate herself to at least an hour's worth of yard maintenance. And 1 hour turned into, now I got that project and I really kind of want to do this one over here. And next thing she knew, she was enjoying herself and with the plants and with the yard and with bringing out all of the things that you bring out in the summertime with the patio furniture and whatever else she could think of to bring out, and start creating her space in her yard. And she enjoyed it very much. And then she came in and she realized, I haven't even watched TV at all today. And it felt good to be unplugged from all of that for a while. And so we know that with these quarantines, for some of you that are really affected by that, it is very tempting to be submerged in television and distracting things, the cell phones, the tablets, and different YouTube videos like this one. And we say, don't turn it off, keep going. But we want you to know that it is good to unplug, and maybe give yourself a certain amount of time each day where you set your devices down or walk away and just let yourself be in the experience of being in that moment, and do it for a certain amount of time every day. And that is something we would encourage you to do. and maybe even outside of your daily prayers and meditations that you normally do. Just do something, go for a walk and be out in the sun and out with fresh air. And if you have nature trails that are still open, go walk on nature trails. Go do something with this time that you never get to do otherwise, and do something different. Because right now, with this reset in the earth, with this beautiful and powerful reset button that is happening, you have this opportunity to do something different. And for those of you who are still working, I encourage you to also do something that is a little different. When you are off and when you are not working, try to change up your patterns as well, just to get some new energy flowing through you. Mm. There are some of these.
Interesting.
There are some of these out here listening that like to make noise, and we're going to explain that in a second. By making noise, we mean like drumming, doing drums, doing rattles, doing humming and singing, and doing the light language, doing dancing, even movement. And just there are things that they're doing right now that they haven't done in a very long time, and they're bringing it back in, and maybe they're just playing music in the kitchen while they're doing the dishes and they're dancing. But the movement, the doing it different, the making sound, it is shaking up the energy. It is creating a new um, frequency and opening a door for even better and higher frequencies to come in. So bring in that inner child. Dance like no one's watching. Is that the saying? It is. Sing like nobody is listening. Dance like nobody is watching. And start bringing in that energy of why not? Why not dance? Why not play? Why not sing? Why not just be silly in the moment? Why not go buy a bucket of Legos and build a castle? Why not? And just bring out that inner child for a little bit and play. Maybe you get a box of crayons and some paper and you start to color. Do something. Do something that gets you into your creative mind and moves you out of this energy of worry and fear and what's going to happen next and where is this all going? Because no matter what, you are in it, you are experiencing it, you are along for the ride. And so why not create an environment that brings in some fun and some joy and some silliness along with that ride? And did you have any questions around that, Jason?
Uh, the only thing I can ask is, before we move forward, did you want to talk about how the future is going to look, the near future, after this whole virus situation? Or did you want to talk about if you had any messages as more direct for the YouTube collective watching this?
Well, we think there's a lot of people that are curious about where is this going? What is in the near future? What is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And we have many times, and maybe not in these videos, but in many different sessions, we have brought up that August is going to be a big transitional month for a lot of people. There's something very energetically happening, frequencies that are coming in August that will bring in a more positive flow of things. We do think that you will be dealing with the virus issues for an ongoing month or two. We do not, and I think we have brought up in June, July, starting to get you back into a normal, but we do think that you are still going to be heavily influenced by this virus for May. And we do hope that things will start to shift as the collective of people keep raising that vibration, raising that vibration. It is an interesting thing as we do experience or have access to the experiences that Tracie has. And as she was moving through her day yesterday, as we said, she was working in the yard and doing some things or over the weekend. And so what was happening is she forgot that the virus was even a thing. It had left her mind that there was even something going on as she got into her work, and she was in her mind and she was staying busy and she was being productive and things were happening. And then it was like, oh yeah, that's right, this is going on in the world. And so what happens is when we can bring ourselves out of those moments where we are constantly like a hamster wheel thinking about the problems, bring yourself up out of that, find a project, do something around the house, do a project that you've been wanting to do and get in that creative mind, like we said. And you'll find yourself moving out of the frequency of the fear of the virus. And as we can get as many people as possible out of the fear of it and raise that frequency up, we do see this dissipating sooner and sooner. What we are seeing for right now is as you go into June, things will feel a little bit more normal, and you'll see more and more people engaging and getting back into a routine of interacting with each other. And it will no longer be bad juju to talk to your neighbor. And then we'll start to see that flow back into a new normal. And we like to call it the new normal because nobody wants to go back to the world that they just left. Everybody got a chance to see what it was like to actually live their lives. And we say everybody, we're sorry, we know that that is not true for everyone. There are some that were still in their jobs doing their work and experiencing, but you are still experiencing life in a different way, all of those that are still working. And so there is a new normal and a reset for everyone. This is your opportunity to create. What would you like for your life? How do you want that to look when this quarantine gets lifted? What do you want to go back to? How do you want that to look? And see yourself in abundance and in wonderful things. You're abundantly happy. You're abundantly financially taken care of. You are abundantly experiencing love in your relationships as you were able to work through a lot of your issues, and now your issues have been lifted and cleared and healed, and now you're more open and loving and kind and experiencing a deeper relationship with people. What else do you want? What else do you want? You are in a space right now where the world is saying, what do you want? And you create it. You create it in your mind, and it doesn't matter if you are still working and experiencing a day job, and you are at home working, or you are one of those that your business shut down and you're not working at all. There are answers flowing in for everybody to make some changes right now. And so we want you all to step into the flow. That is your responsibility to do that. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to look at, what do you want? What do you want to create? What makes your heart sing? What makes you happy? This is where you're going to take some action, and you're going to look at it, and you're going to know that you are the creator. You are the creator right now. The pages are blank. What would you like to fill them in with? What would happen, Jason, if somebody handed you a book of your life and everything was written up to today, and the next 10 pages are empty, and they said, fill it in? What do you want? What would you want to put in here?
Oh man, I'm going to put in some cruises.
Maybe not right now with the but yeah, put in some cruises. And what else would you like to create? And that is what we are asking this community to think about. The universe just gave you your book of life, and the next 10 pages are empty. What do you want to put in there? What is it that you want?
Some business ideas.
Experience, yeah. What are the emotional experiences you would like to have? A lot of people would like to experience success and experience being valued and being appreciated at work. And maybe those are the things you put in there, and that you are being financially compensated, and that you have wonderful benefits, and that you have hours that are reasonable so you can come home and share with your family and have those experiences as well. That you have plenty of time off in that work so that you can take those cruises with Jason and make the most of your life that you are living, so that you feel purposeful, but you also feel the joy and the downtime and the relaxation. It is your time to fill in those blank pages. And like we said, nobody else can do that for you. Nobody else knows what you want. Only you truly know what you want. And so sit down and fill out those pages in your mind. And for some of you, if you want, you sit down and actually write it out to the universe and let them know. And it is beautiful manifestation time right now. And so it is a time to put out your wishes, to put them out. There is a great, we talked about the children of the sun in the last video. And one of the things we would like to say for those of you who have experienced losing a loved one, and possibly even in the future experiencing someone who leaves this world, we do want you to know that a lot of the people that are leaving because they're going to come back in the new bodies that are set at a higher frequency. And so that is part of what that experience is going to be when these children come in, is there will be very much familiarity with these souls, because they're some that have recently left that are coming back to rejoin in the higher frequency body. Now we feel like maybe there might be some questions.
You mentioned a great time to manifest, and I guess in these type of energies. So this would be a great time to work on business ideas, concepts, or anything like that.
Beautiful time to do that, yeah. And bring it from the heart. What is it what would make you happy in your business? What is it that would make you excited if you woke up tomorrow and your business was thriving? What would that look like? And, how do you feel when it's thriving like that? And there are some of you listening right now that got a little overwhelmed with that idea. The fear of success was there for you. And so if you felt yourself thinking, oh my gosh, if my business took off like that, that would be overwhelming. Well, if that is what you are feeling, then go look at that and heal that part of you, because you are a magnificent human being. You are a magnificent and powerful energy, and you can create whatever you desire. And when you allow yourself to be as big, that big, beautiful energy that you are, that you came here to be. And so allowing yourself to be in that expansion like that, and allow yourself to be successful, allow yourself the honor of that. It is easy. It does not have to be hard. It does not have to be overwhelming. It is easy. And if you get so big that you need help, then you need help. And some beautiful, kind, helping people come along, and they really resonate with you, and you're able to find exactly the right ones to help you with whatever it is that you are feeling overwhelmed with. And you have everything you need to bring that person on to help you.
Nice.
Expansion. We like expansion.
Nice. I'm gonna have to take good notes for Tracie, so when she wakes up, she have all this stuff.
Yes, yes. Bring her in on it and let her expand as well.
Hopefully, she's paying attention.
She's trying. She says, "Take those notes." She says, "I always remember for about 10 minutes, and then somebody will bring it up later, and she'll go, 'I said what?'" And so that is always fun as well. But yeah, she may need you to take some notes, and just help her. Both of you see yourself getting very big in this community. You are reaching a lot of people, and a lot more to come. And it is very exciting to bring more listeners in and to embrace the energies and the frequencies of so many. It is a very exciting time of bringing in that spiritual expansion, and as well as personal growth and expansion in this world. So, yes.
Very nice, very nice. Great response. Do you have any other messages you would like to share, or topics? If not, if there's any other collectives that have anything they would like to share.
We want to share with you, there is a lot of change coming. We're not going to fluff that up for you at all. You all know it's there. We couldn't lie to you if we tried. There is a lot of change coming, and not all of it is easy, but we do want to encourage you to find every day something that's powerful and good in your life, and to focus on that energy and to keep focusing. And some of you light workers are really experiencing your bliss right now. You have done a lot of work and you are experiencing that. And we are so proud of you for getting there, and help others get there, help them to get there. But yes, there is going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some ups and downs as you go into the future, as things calm down with the virus. Then it is healing what happened financially during this time. It's healing what happened emotionally during this time. There is a healing period that you will go through. And then there is that wave of bringing in something new. People are going through such tremendous change right now that, like we said already, we can't go backwards, right? That we are not going back to normal as we knew it before this happened. So many people want more to life now. They're seeing more truth. They're seeing more of the veils being lifted. More people having dreams. having dreams with Octorians, Palladians, Andromedans, Telos groups. They're all coming in, and they're taking advantage of this window of the thin veil. And they're coming into your dreams and they're talking to you. They're giving you as many signs and mental cues as possible. The more you open up to working with these other beings, the more you're going to move forward in a beautiful, beautiful way, manifesting and creating creating what you desire, because you are going to be lifted and elevated in your energy. And again, share this video if you know somebody that could benefit from hearing that. Share with people what you know, what you have learned, what you have within you over the course of your awakening that could help somebody else. We really need to continue this ripple effect out there to a larger and larger group of people. And so what we want to do now is we will look to see if there is anyone else that would like to come in and use this time and space to bring a message in for the collective. We do want to say, for those of you who have received the Moses codes, and if you are new to the channel, that came in a few weeks back, you could look for the Moses codes on either Tracie or Jason's YouTube channel. You'll find it. There's the Moses codes have been coming in. They have been upgrading. Those of you who resonated with that know who you are. There is a new frequency coming in for you, so set yourselves up to receive that, please, if you feel that is in your highest and best good to do that. There is a new frequency, a new download for you to move you in yet another direction, or not move you a little bit more forward in what it is they are working with you to move forward in. As we look at the energies that are coming in, there is usually we go with colors. We tell you what color is coming in. We're going to tell you there's going to be a sound that comes in. It's going to be much like that ringing in the ear, but it's going to be a different frequency. And when you're done watching this video, if you can create the quiet space for yourself, if you can create silence, you're going to hear it. And so for a lot of you, you'll hear it as you're going to bed at night, or as you're getting up in the morning, or somewhere in between. If you end up waking up in the middle of the night, that is when you might hear it, because that is when the world around you is settled enough that it is quiet and you can hear it. Everyone is getting it, so don't worry if you do not hear it. But the frequency is coming in. It is setting you and adjusting you. And what we want to say is there has been a great intention. We want to be very careful about how we approach this, because we do not want to field a lot of questions. But there is a new frequency that is being set up on your earth, and it is called 5G. And a lot of people are being affected by this frequency. And so what you are hearing here is you are hearing an attunement to get your body acclimated to this energy so it does not affect you in a negative way. And we're getting lots of chills, so a lot of people are resonating with this right now. But we want you to know that as this new frequency comes in, it is going to work with the cells of your body to acclimate you to this frequency, because it is going to be here. It is going to be here, and we realize it is here for you, and it is not going to go away. And so we want to use this opportunity for all of those who are willing to receive this. It will bring you into a frequency or into a cellular, what is the word we want to look for? It brings your cells to a place of receptivity for this frequency, so that it does not create illness. It does not create disruption in your physical body, your mental body, even your spiritual body. And so we're hearing some people say, you can do that. And we want to say, yes, we can. We can do that, and you can do that as well. And so what you want to do is you want to call it in, ask for the frequency that helps, that gently and easily, in your highest and best good, as always, helps your body to acclimate to those frequencies of the 5G. And release, it is very important for you to release any thoughts and ideas that 5G can hurt you. So it is like you're going to do a trade. Here's my fear. thank you for the new frequency. And you let it come in and you let it acclimate to your body. Because as long as you hold on to a fear that it can hurt you, then it can. And we want you to let go of that fear, and we want to bring your frequency into this new vibration so that you are energetically a match for the planet. And it will help you to acclimate to the new frequencies coming in as the frequencies of the planet itself are being reset, not just with the 5G, but with the energies coming in all around the planet, with the dome of healing that has been put around the planet, with all the other energies that light workers all around the world are working on. If you guys wanted to be in your mind for just a moment, close your eyes and just visualize, ask to see, what is it that the light workers all around the world are doing? As there are many that are working on many different layers of things. And then you can see the world as if you were on the outside looking down at it. Can you see the different grids that are happening, the different layers that are happening? And we say to you that the light workers all over the world are assisting at this time. That so many of you have come into the physical body because that is where you needed to be to make a difference, to make a change. The limits of us that are outside of the human body, us that are communicating through you to help you remember and help you get the information you need to make these changes. We have our limits with that. That is all we can do. You were the brave ones that came in and you chose the physical bodies so that you could come in at this time. You made your connections with us. That's why you're watching the videos today. That's why you are here right now listening. You have made the connections with us so that we can bring in the information you need to create these frequencies and these grids and these energies in the planet to help raise the vibration. You are all being activated right now. There is not one light worker on the planet that is not activated right now and being called into service. It is time to meditate. It is time to create. It is time to feel that calling coming in. And what we're saying to you at this time is, you don't have to worry. Are you the one that's supposed to be holding the energy for the dome for healing, or are you the one that's supposed to be holding the energy for the dome for exposing truth and justice in the world? Are you the one that's supposed to be holding the dome for enlightenment and awakening for those who are still asleep? Don't worry. You do not have to worry which one you are, because when you hold your energy in its highest frequency, it automatically feeds the right grids, the right energy that you came in here to feed. Pull in the light through you. You are that beacon. Remember, we talked about the disco ball as everybody is pulling in more light now than ever before. Just pull in your light. Be the best version of you. Pull in your light to the heart. And whatever frequency that comes in, it goes to the right place automatically. So if you know which one you're working on, by all means, please set intention, see it, visualize it, experience it, and bring it to life in your mind and in your experience so that you can amplify it. But if you do not know, we say to you, it's still okay. It still goes where it needs to be. Okay, Jason, we're afraid to say this, but do you have questions?
I think you read my mind on twice. Two times I think you read my mind, especially that last part. But yeah, I think we got some more questions now. So you mentioned 5G, and I guess the question would be more along the lines of, is this something that humanity needs right now to move forward? Or is this something that we just have to deal with until just for right now?
With the 5G towers, you mean?
Yes, the 5G towers.
It is temporary. It is temporary. There is a much better system coming, but this one will carry you through to the next one. And you were unfortunately a little powerless against it. And so we want to help in the ways that we can. And the best way we can help is for you to have knowledge that you can call in the help, that your body is acclimated to it, that it does not harm you. And in fact, you could be enhanced by it. So call it in the way you want it. Create it the way you would like it. Remember, you have those empty pages, fill in those blanks. A lot of people are working that energy differently. They're saying, we want to be rid of 5G. We want it out of here. We don't want it. It's making us sick. Well, what if you changed how you said that? Okay, we're bringing 5G in. It's going to stay. It's not going anywhere. And so make it so that all of us humans are acclimated to it. The animals, the trees, the plants, everything, all the frequencies are compatible with this 5G frequency, and maybe change the way you're thinking about it. What is that saying? We're going to butcher it. We know we will, but you
I'll try to
change
help
the
you.
way you look at something, and the thing you look at changes. Is that right? Is that how you say it? If you change the way that you are approaching it, the thing you're approaching changes.
That, or you could maybe say something along the lines of your perception's your reality, you know,
Yes, all
how
of
you
that.
perceive reality.
And think about this as the collective starts to welcome 5G and its frequencies, and we are acclimating to it, and our bodies are all shifting and being enhanced by this energy, then it's going to create this beautiful collective consciousness shift and manifestation. So why not do that? Beat them at their own game, maybe, is a way to say it, huh? If they're bringing in this frequency that is it coming across as harmful to human body, then why not just change the human body and let this frequency enhance it? It's making me stronger. It's making me more connected spiritually. It's making my body healthier. Why not say that?
Interesting. You said something else is better is coming. Would that be 6G?
We'd like to just take the G's out, right? And we have talked about the future power sources and energy, and how the energy, the air you breathe around you is just full of energy and frequencies. And so there's going to be more advanced ways to work with that. And wouldn't it be nice to see a world without power lines and satellite dishes and different things like that, and yet everyone can still communicate? And so there is technology coming like that. And
nice.
yeah, so you will have the 5G for a little while until the world steps into the new energies and new technologies. It takes a little bit for it to get out to the mainstream, doesn't it? And create it in a grid where it is in large enough amounts or large enough capacity to serve us all. So it is a great change, but it is happening.
Interesting. You kind of led into my next question, talking about some of the changes that is coming. You mentioned after this whole virus situation, some changes are coming. So are you able to touch base on some of the close changes, near changes, or some of the future changes by any chance?
Well, like we said, it isn't always going to be an easy road, is it? And everybody has done very well with making it through what is happening. And even those that feel like they're really struggling right now, we want to remind you, you are being taken care of. Ask for help. Ask for help wherever you can, if that is what you feel is where you're at. If you need assistance, if some of you ran out of money, if some of you ran out of resources, please ask around. There are people that are more than willing to help you and assist you, and so we want you to step out of that energy of scarcity, and we want you to see yourself being taken care of, and maybe even calling in as an affirmation, someone very helpful that is going to help me through this situation shows up for me right now, in this moment, in this day, in this time, and then start watching for that to happen. And as far as the future goes, there's let us look at this so that we make sure that we are giving you the best transmission of this possible. And we do want you all to remember that there are multiple timelines playing out, and especially with the large collective, there are many timelines playing out here. And so not everybody will have the same experience. So it is, how did you say that, Jason? Your
Perception's your reality.
Your reality. So yes, that is something to keep in mind. You want something better, you think something better. You may be having a wonderful experience where somebody else is not. And so that you will see, we do think that you'll see a little bit of rioting, a little bit of protesting going on. There's going to be outbreaks of different things happening to create more change in the planet and the world. But you will also see peace marches. You'll see peace gatherings that will be very desirable, actually. And it will, for those of you who like to watch that Schumann resonance, join those peace rallies and you'll see some spikes in that. And there is going to be, we want to say highs and lows. And so just be ready for the highs and lows. This too shall pass is how we want to say it. You cannot have change without something collapsing so you can rebuild it, yes? And so you're going to see collapse and rebuild, and it might feel like a yo-yo, like right now everybody's in quarantine, and then you'll get out and things will be good for a moment. Something else might collapse, like maybe the financial situations collapse, and that starts to catch up with everybody. And then, you know, you will see some things happening. And with that, what we say to you is that it is all building this different reality, this new reality. And for those of you who are ready to full on create and manifest, it is your fifth dimensional reality. It is your new earth. And no time like the present to be stronger than ever in your visualization of that, and getting other people on board with what could we create right now? Our world is getting ready to do something new. Let's help her birth something new here and create a desirable outcome. And take charge of your part in this. Nobody gets to sit on the couch. Is that how one might say it? There is no bench warmers in this game. Everybody is in play. So be in play.
So roll up your sleeves.
Yes. And we've got ours rolled up, yeah. And we are ready to play. And so playing can be as simple as we said, as holding this beautiful intention of a magnificent world, and keep your mind out of fear, keep your mind out of destruction, keep your mind away from hatred and anger and disappointment and sadness and all those things. And when you watch the news, if it makes you feel that way, shut it off and go do something that makes you feel better, because your frequency is so important right now. And it's very, very important to keep a collective of people in this beautiful mindset that we are creating this world. And the more we gather in this creation of this higher frequency, the more we are able to bring other people on board, and the bigger and brighter and happier this world becomes, the quicker things fall away that we don't want. Hint, hint, viruses and the financial situations and all of that falls away as we gather together as a collective and we help each other. You know somebody that's in need and you've got a little extra, give it to them. And we do not say that lightly. It is time to make sure that everyone is taken care of. It is not every man for himself right now. It is take care of yourself. Do what you need to do to take care of you. We are not saying that, but if you see someone that needs help, take care of them too. Find it in your heart. You feel called to do it, do it. And don't hold back. Be the best version of yourself. We can't say that enough. Be a joyful version of you, somebody that you would be proud of. You know, if you left this earth today, could you look back and say, I'm glad I did that? And that's what we want you to do. So, did we answer enough of that question? We all know that there is a timeline for a better future to come, and we are looking at a 5 to 10 year timeline. We've talked about it in many different shows, that the future does hold a lot of shifts, and there's a lot of people here that are here as the bridge to move everyone into that other reality. Now, what we mean by the bridge, what does that look like? Well, it looks like communities coming together. It looks like everybody helping everybody. It looks like we all notice what we're doing to this planet right now, and we change, and we change, and we change. Look how much the planet has already healed just from the quarantine time. Less airplanes in the air, less traffic on the roads, and the planet is already restoring itself in beautiful ways just from cutting out as much as we have. And the earth is going, the humans, everyone is going to see this shift and this change, and they're going to want more of it. And so those who are creating the bridge, you know who you are. Some of you are out there collecting seeds and looking for farms, and maybe you already have farms, and you create collectives of people, and you grow food, and you teach people how to start doing this for themselves again. and how to be self-sufficient in these ways, and how to honor the earth, and how to take care of Mother Earth, and how to be respectful, and no longer becoming the overconsumer and, oh, this TV is outdated, let's throw it in the dump and grab a brand new one. And we all laugh because we've all done this, yes, and these are outdated things, so let's get rid of them and let's go get a brand new one. Well, we say there's going to be some, we are not saying that you won't get to have the new trinkets, because we do think technology is a huge part of the future, but you have to get there too. You have to heal the planet to get there. And so a better way to dispose of the old so that you can bring in the new, recycling those products, finding ways to recycle them so that this item, maybe the old cell phone for the new cell phone, how do you recycle that to not create waste, but move that old piece into something that can be created into something new somewhere else. So there is a lot of things that will change, and a lot of, oh, so many people out there with information flooding into their minds right now, and will continue to flood in. You've come here to bring in the new ideas. You've come here to bring in the new ways of being. You come in to create those new ways of recycling. You've come in to create the new waves of energy and the new ways of creating and manifesting. And even we've talked of the food replicators. We've talked of technology in travel, and we've talked about mental body, mind, spirit moving into new abilities within your own body. All of that is still coming. We've got to get there. And so it is our turn to grab the shovel, so to speak, and start planting the seeds and start making the earth a better place to live, so that all this other stuff can start moving in quickly and rapidly and move us into some much, much better energy and places. Did we read your mind again, Jason? Or do you have
that was
questions?
pretty good. That was very, very good response. Absolutely.
Good.
So, is there any other messages you would like to share, or any other collective, or do you want to answer some fun questions? They're more personal, but same subject, but a little bit different.
Yes, we do want to say really quick, there are some of you out there that are really being activated in sacred geometry. Whether you're drawing it, seeing it in your mind's eye, or just running into shapes and sizes that are standing out to you, shapes and different things that are standing out to you as you are out and about, or as you're doing things on the computer, whatever it might be. You are being activated in that for a reason. You are part of the group that will bring in the new technology. Now, we want to say really quick, if you are experiencing that and you are like, I'm not a very technical person, do not worry. You could be just holding the grid, as we spoke of earlier, the different grids. You may be holding the grid and holding the frequency so the technology can be downloaded to the ones that are bringing it in. So we just want to say that really quick. If you're noticing that, just get excited about it. You are stepping into your gifts and your abilities, your powers, and you are bringing it into the world just the way you are supposed to. Okay. Now, let's ask some fun questions.
Perfect. It deals with similar to what we were talking about, but you mentioned dreams, that Arcturians, Palladians, or whatever group is sending you dreams for this creative time and so on. So, which, if you're having any of those type of dreams, I would like for you to comment below what kind of dreams you're having that might be Palladian, Arcturian, or one of your other galactic friends.
And we do want to be clear that you may see the Palladians or the Arcturians, but you may not. They are giving you dreams, like downloads. So if you're having weird dreams that seem like they relate to this, that's also relevant.
Perfect. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure you heard part of my conversation with Tracie. So, and you mentioned some changes coming. So these kind of two topics can kind of go hand in hand. So I was telling Tracie last week, I was having some ideas, early in the morning, probably around 6 o'clock in the morning or so, these ideas of these crystal meditation beds and so on. So my question deals with more like the the crystals. You know, is that something that will be in our future as a technology, or is that something that we should, you know, not entertain because that's a old past technology?
Mm. We have light workers that are working on repairing the crystals within the deep earth right now. They are part of your future technology, as they will help to hold the frequencies that will be used for energy. They will help to transmit. We talked about future times when teleportation would be an option, when moving through time and space, wormholes, that different types of things like that. They will hold those energies and frequencies as well. There will be some on the planet. You are one of them that are the masters of the crystals. You are master, how do we want to say that? Master activators, master workers of the crystals. You, once they are activated, you will be able to, you might notice a shift within yourself, that you are not only in that more creative mind and getting the downloads of information that you just spoke of, but you are, and we're just watching what you were doing here. You are able to step more into your intuitive psychic abilities, powers, gifts. You work very much with energy. As we're looking at the energy coming off the hand, we want to put like a, almost like a cobalt blue energy that comes out of the hand, that you move into other parts of, you move that into the crystals. And it is much like a contractor with a wrench, or you are able to adjust and fine tune with these energies. And you have not been activated in that fully yet. You do some crystal activation within your subconscious. You know what you are doing. You move it through the body, you move it through the energy, but there will be a time where you do understand more about how to do that, and you'll do it on a conscious level. But we do think at night you go into the inner earth realms, and you work with crystal beds within the earth. You work with a very large collective. There's a very large collective of people that work with the crystals. A lot of them were in Atlantis. My kono na 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 titi so mande ya na na chikati ya hantera ba shikati ya na da chiko no ma ya na 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 it's a kataton ema ashiko fai ba wadi ya ni ato shiko to ma hita shito shikandi ya no no ma ya kana na choko ma heka. What they are doing is, this was the Lyran group that just came in. That was actually a feminine energy, much like a jaguar in her appearance, and so we just wanted to share that because it came through so strong. she was activating a little bit of knowing what she could today, for you, Jason, and for those who are listening that resonate with this. And she was bringing in this beautiful energy. And what we saw when she was working with you is this beautiful, much like you see in those pictures of Christ where they have the halo around them, yeah? You had this beautiful blue one that went all the way around you, and it was almost like they just dressed you in fine royal garments. And so let that go to your head a little bit, right? Let that just, but
did I pop my collar?
you should loosen that up so that you have room for everything that just went on.
Too funny.
But we do want to say that there was a beautiful, beautiful energy that just went coming out, and it went into the collective, and it brought in this beautiful sparkle. And there is crystals within each person. There's crystalline energy, there's crystalline cells within each person that are also going to be activated through these processes, through the energy waves that come in And as you become more aware of this, Jason, know that everyone around you is being activated in their crystalline energy bodies.
Mm.
And so hopefully that was some fun information as well. But yeah,
Yes.
there's going to be, that is going to be over the next 3 years. And so just know that it will come in a little gradually. It's not going to be like one day you wake up and superpowers, although that would be fun. But we say that that's going to happen gradually, and you will eventually move to a point where with your physical eyes you will be able to see the energy you move, but that is not until further into the future. And so that is a time frame we cannot give you, because that is going to be a personal journey for you. And so it will depend on how you do that journey.
Sounds about right.
Doesn't it, though? And hopefully that was a fun answer for a fun question. Do you have
Yeah,
more?
absolutely. I'm glad I asked that question. I feel like you was itching at it in a way.
Yes, we were prompting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It all works
Um,
together.
here's the next fun question on top of that. For the Octorians, do they use crystals for anything, by any chance?
Very good question. You know how we are as Octurians. We want to be a little bit smartassy and be like, no, we are so beyond crystals. But we do want to say that there is a technology that is much like the crystal technology of Earth that comes from our planet, and it is more like a stardust of energy, but it works much the same way. And so what we work with is what we would call stardust, and it can be formulated into a solid, or it can be formulated into an energy and into what we keep imagining, or what Tracie keeps putting in her mind, is Tinkerbell with the little fairy dust. Yes, and it sparkles and it makes magic happen, and that's
Maybe that's where they got it from.
that could be where they got it from. And so we work with the stardust and with star energy to activate, much like you will with crystals in your planet.
Interesting. Is there any other messages from any other collectives, by any chance?
Are you done asking your fun questions?
I think so.
We like directing the answers at you. Any other collectives? There is, we're not seeing other collectives, but we are seeing a download for the crown chakra and third eye coming in for anyone that wants to receive that. We do ask that you call it in the highest best good for you, and give permission for that to come in. We do, as Tracie does in her sessions, we want to call in your gatekeepers so that only that in the highest best good can come through for you as a collective. Whatever frequency you are ready to receive in your highest and best good, may that come in for you, and you give permission for that to happen. And so it is fun. When we do these things, it gets really bright in our mind. And it is fun because we know when the eyes open, this room will not be as bright as the light we are seeing in the mind. And so hopefully you are all experiencing this bright energy, this magnificent energy that is coming in. We're looking to see if there's anything else to share with you. We think that the silence was its own little share, wasn't it? It was like this moment of just coming back into the body. And we want to say, for some of you that are walking in nature, that are taking the nature walks, the trees are talking to you. So whoever had that question or thought that I think the trees are talking to me, or you find that your conversations in your head as you are walking or get amplified when you go out in nature, it is because they are interacting with you. And there are tree beings. And if you take pictures while you're out and about with those trees, and then you look at them, you will find that there will be faces in the trees and the leaves, and they want to more than ever show you that they are there, that they are in another dimension, but they are able to take formation when you take a picture, they're able to create form in those leaves and in those patterns to help you to see them. And so we encourage you guys to take some pictures, and even in the clouds, you can take pictures and see things. And so just find yourself playing a little bit. Again, that could be some of the things that you do to bring in that more childlike nature and being playful and raising that vibration. Go take a picture of a tree, take a picture of the leaves, and see how many faces and energies you can find. It is, you'll start to notice that you are really not alone in this world, and that there is much to be offered. And we want to say to you also, there are some of you that have been getting nudged to call a friend, a certain friend. And this is interesting, and it seems very direct and more personal. But if you have gotten a nudge to call somebody, if you woke up and you heard, you know, call your mother or call your friend John or call your friend Becky, and we want you to know it is very important for you to follow through and call those people. There's something there for you. There's an exchange waiting to happen. There's a reason you're waking up with that feeling to call or feeling to connect with these people. And if you are being called to create a group connection, do that. There are reasons for it. There's something there to be offered. There's something there to be shared. And it could be more important than you even realize. So we want you to follow through, listen to your heart, listen to your gut, listen to when you get those little nudges and it feels like it's a happy thing, it feels like the right, you know, it feels like a good thing, then make that call, do that next step. Synchronicities are lining up for you left and right. The magic of the planet is oozing out of the ground, and it is a very, very wonderful time to step into your own manifestation. We want to keep bringing you back to that book of life. Those pages are open. Start filling them in. And we do hope that you all have a very positive experience with that. And call in your counsels around it. Have them help you know what to write into those pages, and just sit down and write it out. What do you want to happen in the next week? And just write it out and see how much of it comes around for you. And we want you also, we do want to remind you, you cannot sit down, like Tracie couldn't sit down and say, well, I want Jason to start doing this, this, and this. That is not how that works. What does Tracie want for Tracie? Write that down. How does Tracie want to feel? How does Tracie want to see the world? How does Tracie want the world to see her? Those are great questions. And start filling in those blanks. But when you start bringing somebody else into it, remember they have free will, and that is not something you will see results with. So write down things that you want for yourself and how you want to feel, how you want to be in the world, how you want to see the world, how you want the world to see you. Those are great questions right there. Write those down and fill them in. And then whatever else comes to mind. And we think that you will start to see some shifting going on as you hold those intentions. Maybe start a daily journal, writing it in how you want it to be. Okay, Jason, anything else?
I think that's about it.
Wonderful. Well, as always, it's been a great pleasure. Shall we bring Tracie back?
Sure, bring her on back. We got to recap.
we need to wake her up, yes, and we tap her shoulder and get her to come back in. And we do hope you took notes, because she's already saying, I can't remember what he was taking notes about.
Ah, shoot. It's recorded.
And so we thank you, everybody, for being here. We think you are one of the most beautiful collectives of energy, and our gratitude to all of you and your wonderful work here. So we thank you so much, and we will see you again next time as we bring Tracie back. Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I really don't remember what that was about. So taking notes. But
no, we talked about your life story and everything. So
right, yeah.
Yeah. We started off when you was a little child.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a story to tell, right? Everybody fell asleep. We've got, that's, if we were trying to bring everybody into a sleep mode, that would be a good story to tell. Not too exciting.
I'm pretty sure we could find some exciting parts. But we were talking about what do you want to put in your book that you have blank pages? So
yeah.
You had
That was
all
pretty
these
cool.
pages full.
What did your book look like, Jason?
It looked like a yellow pad with,
Did
yeah.
it? Because mine looked like a leather-bound book with those old pages in it. It was really cool.
Maybe something like this, like a little leather book.
Yeah, something more like that. It was really cool, and it was
Pages.
yeah. Are those pages a little yellow in color? Maybe.
No. Mm-mm. White.
Well, my book's not like that then.
Oh, you can add some food coloring to it.
Yeah. Just stain it out and make it look different. But yeah, so so that would be cool. I'm gonna have to sit down and play with that. What do I want to fill into my pages, my blank pages? So
Yeah. So with that being said, the blank pages is kind of like one of those good ideas of like what you want to create, your reality that you're looking forward to, you know, today, tomorrow, next week, next month, what you want to experience, what you want to live, business ideas,
business
you know,
ideas, yeah.
how you want your reality to look like, any ideas that you've been working on, stuff like that.
Yeah. And you know, as you're saying that, it's reminding me of that part of the channel and the energy. It was just kind of like it was just like space. It was infinite. It was all this energy that was going on. It's like, what do you want? Just put it out there and create it. And when I'm in it, I'm thinking, wow, this just seems so easy. So let's see how easy it really is, because you know
Let's do it.
it's so easy.
We
So
can do this, people.
we got it. Let's
Oh, we
create.
forgot to ask about the correlation between the white shirts and everything. We forgot to ask about that.
Oh yeah, they were going to talk
White
about the
energy.
energy of the
I
white.
don't know if they touched on anything or gave us any clues, but oh well.
Yeah.
So talking about some changes coming, of course. So and then you mentioned the 5G, how to kind of like
Yeah.
deal with it, take it on. I
That's
like that reference. I'll give you this, I'll take this, and I'll give you that.
yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, that part was good. And I did have that conversation with a client about a week ago, and they did the same thing with him. They gave him a shift in his frequency, and the feedback was that it worked.
Yeah.
So um, I think as everybody's getting more what's the word I want to subdued, not the right word, more relaxed, more um, open and flowing, that they're more easily able to go in and help with those things. So I think that's opening some doors for everybody. But yeah, that was interesting to go through that with the client, and then I didn't realize they were going to bring that in today, but it seems so appropriate to bring it in. I don't know what prompted that. Did you, maybe it was your question about the future or something?
Yeah. Yeah. You brought up, I think, the topic of the 5G concept. That was a topic I wanted to discuss and was brought up. But that's when he gave out that advice. But yes, that was like, it kind of dealt with the future as well.
Yeah.
And then my part of it was saying, is this something that we truly need to help us move forward, or is this something that we're just dealt with? And, here you go. We just happen to work on this, and this is how we're going to do it. But is this something, that opens up other opportunities to move
One
forward?
of the things I did see with that, with the 5G, is they're saying they're going to shift your energy. If you're willing to let go of the fear, hand that over, they'll bring it in. And they were talking about, see yourself as thriving on this energy and letting it boost you up. That actually, I could really see that happening. Like, it was just kind of like when we let go of the resistance of it, and we claim it as something that's going to help us, something that's going to actually physically move us into a new higher frequency, then it's kind of like there's no stopping you now. It's like you let go of the fear around it, and then you actually used that as something, as a tool to help amplify yourself. And so it was like a double win.
Yeah.
Good.
It also reminded me of an idea I had a while back, or concept is like, I like to take pieces from each thing and try to connect them. So I'm like, well, Atlantis and ancient Egypt, they had these obelisks, and they're using these obelisks for energy frequencies and so on. So what if this is our version of that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what if this is our today's time technology, the way to get to it? Because, sometimes there's other ways to get to the same technology, just different avenues,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So that was one of the things I thought of it as. I was like, well, maybe this is like our version of the obelisk, going
Yeah.
forward. So
So
these towers.
I'm being reminded that they started me in a field out in this green.
Yeah, with some houses and the peace and calm.
Yeah, but like the houses were so far off. And
I
what's
was going
really
to ask a funny question. I'm like, is this where Tracie's supposed to live?
standing out in the middle of this giant field. And it was so quiet and peaceful and just very calm energy there. Like it was just quiet. I mean, you could hear crickets in nature and stuff like that. But what just hit me was that's kind of my reality. Like where my house was built, behind me was this big field, and we would go out there with Buddy, the German Shepherd, and play fetch with them, and there was no neighbors in the backyard whatsoever. And now they developed that, and it's full of houses. And so now I go in my backyard, and instead of seeing trees and a field, I see all these houses, and the one right behind me, I feel like it's practically in my backyard, and I'm having to make peace with that, and start looking at it like, okay, how can I make this a joyful experience, right? Because I don't want to go into being disgruntled about it. It's there, it's happened, it's done, and it's something that's part of my reality now. It's there. So anyway, I was sitting there as that just hit me. I was like, man, I'm having the opposite experience. I went from having a peaceful field to now I have all these houses, and I have all this interaction, and people walking past my house constantly, walking their dogs, which stirs up my dogs. And so there's a whole new way of interacting in our own home, because we don't have that same peace and quiet that we used to have with field. Now we have noise and neighbors that are walking their kids riding by with their bikes and walking their dogs, and they walk right by our fence now. And so I'm having a different experience, but I think what they're showing me is to find my peace in that field, find my peace with what's happening here. And I'm sharing that because I'm sure other people are going through something where they're going to have to find their peace with it. It is a reality. It's there. It's happening. It's what we're dealing with. It's kind of like the coronavirus. We're not going to just, it's not going to just be invisible, but how do we make our peace with it? It's here. We're in an environment where we're all in quarantine around the world, and there's a lot of limits right now, and how do we make peace with that? So that's what I think that might have been about, as it was hitting me just now as we were talking. So that's my share on that. Making peace with, okay.
So kind of like find out what's bugging you and kind of deal with it.
Deal with it and make peace with that. And how can this be a joyful experience? And as far as I know, I don't know who's moving in behind me yet. They're still working on that house. But, I'm going to set the intention that it's going to be somebody. I absolutely love having them as a back neighbor. This is going to be somebody that's so exciting, and I'm in my backyard and they're in their backyard. I can't wait to wave to them.
I can see Tracie walking over there with a yellow coffee mug. Hey, neighbor. Good morning.
Good morning. Here, I made you some coffee. And yeah, maybe we'll just take our fence down. We don't need it.
Yeah. I had some neighbors that connected their fence like that. So especially for the kids, a little
fun. Yeah, then they don't have to go out front. They can just
clubhouse trap door type thing they had going on for him and his buddy.
How funny. Yeah. Yeah, I could just share the dogs. And, yeah. We could put a little doggy door there and they can go back and forth. So, but anyway, yeah. So if anybody is struggling with something or faced with something that's making them a little frustrated, maybe that could be a helpful story. So
Nice.
if you're
Well,
faced with it.
do you recall anything else by any chance? Anything else that you remember?
No, but you're free to ask me anything.
Well, how about what did you see on your side when I asked does the Octorians use any crystals? You mentioned
Oh, I
star.
could see the stardust. That was fun. Yeah. They were, so the Octorian, and let me do it there, minus that finger. They're moving their long little fingers, and they're doing this. They were doing this with it, and they could change the pattern of the stardust. And so, like, if you wanted to make a DNA helix or something like that, or a Merkaba or whatever you wanted to, they could set the intention with the way that they were moving their hand around, and the stardust would take shape. So,
That's cool.
but then they could also make it a solid, where it was like a crystal, and use it in that form too. So they didn't really show me a lot, but they were just kind of showing me that that's where the whole, because in my head I was going, that looks like Tinkerbell's dust, and so that's where that came
That's
from.
interesting.
But so yeah, it looked like they were just playing with this sparkly powder, and they could make it do whatever they wanted. And it kind of reminds me of, you know, those videos where they have the little vibration tray and they put sand on it and they do a certain frequency or vibration.
Yeah. I have a video.
That's what they were doing with their hands. They were creating
Nice.
patterns with the dust.
Yeah,
So,
go bing, and then a shape come out, and they go boop, and then another shape comes out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do that again.
Beep, boop. So, well, that was pretty cool. I'm glad I asked that one. So, yeah, you mentioned the cobalt blue coming out the hands. I thought that was interesting.
I think that came out of your hands.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny in a way, because you mentioned cobalt, you know, that was supposed to be one of the ideas, like, you know, back in the day, like, oh yeah, let's have a night lounge kind of place, club, and we're going to call it cobalt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That came from somewhere, didn't it?
Yeah, because of the blue, and we thought the name sounded cool. You know, it was stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny. So what was that about? What were you saying on that
one? So I was, well, first of all, when they were saying that little prayer, and then you were in that, it was like this giant thing around your head. But it was like a light. It was like a light around your head, and then you were in kind of more of like they were saying, the royal clothes.
So I got to get a new wardrobe, huh?
Yeah, you're gonna have to step it up a little bit, because the white T-shirts aren't.
Yeah, too neutral.
Too neutral. Which is kind of funny, because I'm wearing a blue top underneath my white. So maybe I got more of the information than you did. I don't know.
Oh, I'm wearing blue jeans.
Hey, see? There we are.
First time. I usually wear shorts.
So what I was seeing with you, though, is, so I was seeing this mass amount of light workers working with these crystals, and it happens in another realm, and it probably in your sleep state, you go into these other realms, and you're lining up the crystals and working with that and getting them activated. But it's not quite time to turn those babies on yet, because we're not ready for it. We wouldn't probably survive that. You think 5G is aggravating you, turn on a crystal, because that's going to really be loud.
Oh, that's kind of true. Because, you know, that's kind of true in a way. If you look at Dolores Cannon's information on a couple of things, depending on which one you activate it, you can't get too close to it.
Yeah, I believe that. And some of those those would be in the core. And so there's, you know, we've got the inner earth beings, they're kind of monitoring that stuff as well, is the impression I got. But they needed people in the physical body on the top side, is how I'm understanding it, to be here, to be the activators. You have to have, And I hope I'm getting this information right. And believe me, you guys, this is just coming from my belief system. So if you don't agree, it's okay. But you have to have the physical human body in order to participate in bringing in these energies to the planet. So in order for me to communicate with the Octurians, I had to have this physical human body. Now I can make that connection to the Octurians, and that's okay. But
Yeah, that's been
I have to, yeah, I have to ask the right questions, right? We have to ask the right questions. We have to look for the right things before that information can come to us. So there's a lot of people on the planet right now with these abilities to do this stuff. So you guys were going in and activating these crystals. Not quite time to turn them on yet, but when you do, I don't know what I was seeing. You were like shooting this energy out of your hand and you were directing it. So I don't know if you were activating certain points on the planet or what you were doing with that. That part wasn't.
Was it my left or my right?
It was your right hand.
Oh, that's good.
So
That's good.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
I don't know where, I forgot where I learned this from or told, but I always thought like you receive energy in this hand.
The left, yeah, and put it
the
out
right hand puts out energy. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't think about that when you asked the question. It just automatically, it was your right hand. But yeah, I've heard that too.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Interesting. All right. So, what does wardrobe look like?
I don't know. I
mean,
laughing.
laughing.
It's quite glamorous. You'll love it. You can walk with this flowing cape behind you of,
oh my goodness,
beautiful velvety royal blue cape or something.
Did I look like me or did I look like an alien?
You look like you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think what they were just showing, they were trying to show is that you come from a lot of power. You come from a lot of power. You have the ability to win a lot of power.
Like
and
energy.
The way for us to understand that in our human form was to show you like you were royal.
Oh.
And so that's what I'm finding is they'll use our references to help us to understand. So maybe it doesn't mean that you run out and get a cape. You can. But
I know what I'm going to be for Halloween.
Yes.
Making notes.
Take it down. hopefully we can trick or treat by then.
That's true. I hope
have gatherings. But yeah, that does feel like that lifts. And it starts to slowly get back to normal. And I hope that their information's right about June, that we will start to reintegrate into the world together in June, and then July and August. By the end of summer, we'll be functioning again. Like we'll be like, oh yeah, that virus, that was so long ago.
Knowing the human population, and we're going to be pushing for May harder and harder.
Right. Yeah. But you know, it makes sense as long as we're in this quarantine and isolation, the more people are stir crazy, the more they're going to be like, I'm over this. I'm done with it. No more. And isn't that the energy that happens when we really create? Is when we're not teetering anymore. We're just there. I'm done. You can't keep me in any longer. I'm going outside, right? And so that's that energy
of mind
to
rest and to think of things.
Yeah, people are going to be ready to go out and create something. So, yeah.
Well, I got homework. I need to start working on my project.
Yeah, there's a good chance you're part of that sacred geometry group. So, getting downloaded with information.
Yeah, let's see how this plays out. Tinker around a couple of things.
It's kind of like, do we really have another choice? Let's just see how this plays out.
Let me put this together and see what happens.
Might as well. Yeah, you're getting ideas, you're getting inspired. You might as well put it out there and see what happens. What's the worst thing that can happen, right?
That's right. It'll be a new toy.
Yeah. So do it.
I just have to explain the bill. Like, yeah, I spent this much for it. Yeah.
Because I don't have a spouse, I didn't have to explain my little pyramid that I built in the,
That's
the
right.
proper pyramid. But that would have been one of those
Give
moments.
me a picture of that copper pyramid and I'll post it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I took
Yeah,
one.
so they can see what that copper pyramid looks like.
You got it. I'll send you one. Yeah, because I just took one. So I'll send that to you, and you guys can all see my little sanctuary. This morning, being the construction in the backyard, right? They're working on the fence, but they're not putting up a new fence. They're putting up a secondary fence. So my fence is here, and then they put up another one right here. So I go to sit in my pyramid, and I noticed that one of the blocks, they sawed off one of the fence posts, and it fell into my side. So I picked it up and I set it up on the thing, and the guy was on the other side. He's like, "Thank you, so sorry." He's taking it, and I was like, so I go to sit in my pyramid, and I realize he's working on the fence like right there, and I'm thinking, dang it, I'm not going to be able to sit here and do my meditation knowing he's standing like, that's not 6 feet of separation, even though there's a fence between us. It was only about 2.5 feet. I was like, I can't do that. So I had to get up and leave. But you guys will see that when you see the picture. You'll see the fence, and maybe you'll see the post. I think it was before they actually got the other fence fully put up, but it's like, it's interesting, their choices in that new development. Instead of sharing a fence line, they just made a second one. And so there's really like 2 fences like this.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's better than what I thought. At first, I thought you were going to say there was a big gap between the two.
No, they butted it up to mine,
Okay.
which actually was helpful because mine was starting to get old and wavery, and so they reinforced mine by putting that one there. So I'm okay. I'm already embracing that. That's okay.
See, it's already looking up for you.
Yeah, it's already a positive. That's a win.
And when you knock down the fence for your new neighbor, now you need to knock down 2 fences.
Right. Yeah.
2 for 1.
So we'll have to go through 2 layers to get to that friendly neighbor fence thing that we're gonna do. Yeah. So
Nice.
good.
Pretty
But
cool. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So there it is. And I'm hearing in my head, tell them why you built your pyramid.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So I woke up one day and I just had this image in my head of this pyramid, and I was like, okay. So I started researching them a little bit, and finding that, that even like the smaller ones, you could put them in your kitchen and put like your bowl of fruit under them, and they'll last longer. And there's just an energy that gets created. They're used all around the world. People put their gardens under them. Some people build their houses in a pyramid shape and live in there because it's supposed to be carrying this amazing frequency, right? So when I built it, I was like, okay, I'm going to get in there and I'm just going to like astro travel or something. I'm just going to go places. And I get in there and I sit down and I'm like, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. When I stepped out, I realized that I was really feeling good. I was like, it wasn't like an extreme high or an extreme low. I just felt very neutral and very calm.
Like
and,
balance.
Yeah. And so I had some friends that came over, and the one friend was having a really bad day, and I said, try sitting in the pyramid. So she went and sat in the pyramid, and she was like, so what's supposed to happen? I said, well, how do you feel now? Oh, I actually feel like I feel really good. I don't feel anxious anymore. I don't feel all upset anymore. So it was taking her energy and doing the same thing. And I started thinking about when I went to Sedona, and we were trying to, go find all the little vortexes, because, you're supposed to be able to feel something in these vortexes. And when I talked to one of the local people, he says, oh yeah, people think they're going to go stand in a vortex and they're just going to have this amazing thing happen. He goes, but really what happens in the vortexes is it just takes you to a very beautiful neutral space, where you just feel really good and everything's fine. And that was totally the experience that we were having the whole time in Sedona, is that we were just like, yeah, this is cool, this is fun, we're having a good time. And it's like, oh, so they are working on us, because we're just feeling really relaxed, and we weren't in a hurry for anything, and we would just be like, hey, we should go there, and then we'd go there. No rules, no timelines, no time frames, and it was just really an easy trip. And so that's kind of the experience I have when I go sit in the little pyramid out there. Is I'll go sit down under it. I have crystals on all four corners and one that hangs from the top. And then I just go sit under that, and it brings in this kind of real peaceful feeling, and I can meditate in there or just do whatever. There's sometimes I'll go sit in there and I get real antsy, like, nope, I don't need this energy today, and it's time to get up and leave. And there's other times I'll sit there, and next thing I know, 20-30 minutes have gone by, and I'm like, oh, I guess I can get up and go do something now, you know. And so it just depends on me and where I'm at and the energy. It's fun to sit under it in the full moon,
Oh.
under the stars. That's why I like spring and summer, because it's warm enough for me to go do that. Winter's a little more challenging, but so anyways, if anybody wants to create a copper pyramid, they're not the cheapest things to do, but they are doable. And you just got to find somebody that can either make you the corner pieces for the pipes, or you can find them online, but I think they're a couple $100. So I had,
Yeah, I guess
luckily had
the
somebody
3
that
points would be the challenge part to make.
yeah, because you got to have the
Three.
correct angles for the squared and then the one going up. And luckily I had a friend of mine make those for me. So thank you, Larry, if you're watching. And
Larry.
so yeah, I know. I could probably keep you busy making little corner pieces.
True.
Yeah. So anyways, that's the story behind my pyramid. And it's getting to that weather and that time now where I can spend more time out there in it. So, and since we're in this quarantine and there's a little bit more downtime, I've been going out there and really enjoying that, which is probably helping me shift my energy around all the houses that are now watching the strange lady sit in a copper pyramid in her backyard.
Honey, don't buy this house.
They're like, why won't this house on the corner sell? What is that thing down there that gal keeps sitting in? Yeah. So
that's funny.
yeah.
Have you ever had clients or friends just come over to sit in it?
Yeah, I did a workshop where me and 3 others, we did the 4 elements, and this is what we did. We went off of the birth sign. So like Capricorn is an earth sign. And Pisces would be like a water sign. You got your fire signs and you got your air signs, right? So we had somebody from each sign sit in a corner. So I had me and 3 others. And then it turns out that each element also has a direction. So like the earth sign is north. So I would sit at the north point. And so each person sat at their point. So it was really cool. All of this started coming in, all this information to do this. And so we did a workshop where we did it on a full moon, and we did like a releasing ceremony around the fire pit. Everybody put what they're ready to release into the fire pit. Then they made another list of what they wanted to create. And then each person took their list and they held it on them somehow, rather they held onto it or put it up to their chest. And we had, this is a 10 by 10 pyramid. So it's a big pyramid. So we had this blanket laying in the middle for them, and they would spend 10 minutes in the blanket, and the rest of us, we'd have the 4 corners, the elements in the 4 corners, holding intention and prayer for them, for their manifestation. And then everyone else in the group also sat around the pyramid. So we all held the energy for the person in the pyramid to help them create what they had on their manifestation list, right? And then each person took a turn getting in the middle of that. And that was really a good, that was kind of a fun little thing to put together, because everybody got to talk about how they felt when they were in there, having all that energy focused on them. They're sitting under a crystal. And then it turned out I didn't even know I had this crystal in it, because I didn't know what this crystal was. But this is one of those Vogel tool crystals, and very powerful. And it was hanging from the center of it. And this was given to me by a friend, and I didn't know what it was when she gave it to me. And so I was like, this one's perfect for the center of that. No mistakes, right? So I put it in the center of that. And later I'm at a crystal shop, and they had a whole bunch of those in their display case all locked up. And I was like, why are these ones locked up? And he goes, oh, that's a Vogel crystal. And they're like $400 or $500. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
What does that mean? So apparently if you hold them a certain way, and you're supposed to cap off the ends, which shame on me, I still haven't done that. But they're very powerful energy wise. And so here's everybody sitting under this Vogel crystal with the clear crystal quartz sitting in each corner, making this massive amount of energy coming in, and we're all sending energy from the outside in. So there were some lightheaded people. There was some, it was pretty fun. It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
now I just feel like I've talked too long and everybody's fading off, and
Yeah, we probably gotta wake everybody up. Wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. So
nah,
guys,
it's interesting. So absolutely.
Yeah.
And once when we had the picture, it'll show everybody, you know,
exactly.
talking about.
Yeah, and I'll send that over to you as soon as we're done here. I'll send it. You can post it. You can put it right there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. It's always fun.
Cool. Another great session.
Yeah. Let's all
talk about.
acclimate to this 5G energy and
yeah.
let it
That's going to
enhance
help out a lot of people. That's some good advice. So
yep, we'll hand over the fear and accept the shift and let it work for us and not against us.
Perfect.
Power to the people.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Thank you, everybody.
Take care.